It's time to react to your most diabolical LEGO superhero takes.
We asked all of you what your hottest LEGO superhero takes were, and Methuselah and I are going to react to them and see just how diabolical all of these are.
Yeah, sorry if we didn't select yours. It's not personal. We just couldn't fit them all in the same video. So let's try to do the hottest ones. Because I think a lot of them we got were a little bit cheesecake takes, as I would call them, which is very sweet and tasty. They're a little bit more agreeable. Like, yes, we would all agree with that. Ryan Draws Stuff says the 2012 Avengers wave is all glaze and nostalgia. What do you think about that, Daniel Lewa? And you know what? This is true. And a lot of the quote-unquote golden age of DC and Marvel is all these shoddy builds with nostalgia backing up. Like, they have cool minifigs and these terrible shoddy builds.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, because like if we look at some of these, it's a little weak when it comes to the actual builds, like the Helicarrier Breakout and stuff. But it's cool because it's the first ever LEGO Marvel superhero wave, besides Spider-Man. We can't deny, though, there were some great figs. Like, that's when we got Wolverine's Chopper with Deadpool and Magneto. I guess it's not Avengers related, but it's in the same year.
Panda King says the mini modulars line is one of the best things to happen to the theme. The reason being that it's so much easier to get a full city with them. With every modular that's out right now, you can have 6 buildings already, including the upcoming Bugle, for only $345, which is about the price of one large Daily Bugle.
That's honestly very true. I think that's a very agreeable take, because it's a very friendly way for any LEGO fan to just get into the city building game with superheroes without dishing out billion Benjamins every time you go to the LEGO store.
Well, if you're going to make this comparison of having the 6 smaller buildings compared to one Daily Bugle modular, I'm taking the black box UCS Daily Bugle modular every single day of the week, especially when it's coming with Punisher and Black Cat and all that. You will get a bunch of cool figures if you do that route. They're such good sets, the mini modulars are. The only problem I had was the price of those original ones, of Oscorp and Peter Parker's apartment. It's like, if you're going to do cheaper modulars, quote unquote, then actually make them cheaper, like a good value for what you're getting, because Daily Bugle's value dwarfs those in comparison. And I get not everyone has the budget for the bigger LEGO modular buildings, but if you're going to use that comparison, if you have $345, I would recommend you get the big Daily Bugle every day of the week.
Fair enough. I am glad that there are options out there for people who would prefer that size and form factor.
Ethan Morey says, not really a hot take, but in an idealized world, Marvel and DC would switch off getting a modular building and CMF respectively every year. You're 100% right, and this is the smartest thing ever. Because wouldn't it just be so nice for us comic fans, Daniel? We'd all be happy, DC and Marvel.
Yeah, literally, that would be amazing. They should hire this guy as a consultant right now, because honestly, these superhero modulars are some of the coolest LEGO sets, because not only do you get a great build experience, you get incredible figures. The more of that, the better. And if we can space it out between both superhero themes, amazing. Let alone putting a CMF every year. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that those are some of the best-selling collectible minifigs. Like, those are so well done, so sought after by so many in the community.
Like, I was sad we didn't get a Marvel modular building this year, but the band-aid that helped was having the Spider-Verse CMF. So if we could do that for next year, if we could do a Marvel modular building and it was a Batman DC CMF, everyone will be happy. Obi Break says if LEGO doesn't plan on making any DC sets other than Batman, they should just rebrand to LEGO Batman as a theme. Calling it LEGO DC Superheroes is no longer accurate branding.
No, we got to keep the flame alive. We got to keep it as DC Superheroes. But we've seen LEGO do a LEGO Batman exclusive theme before. When it first came out back in 2006, it was just LEGO Batman. There wasn't even DC. So it's like they've come a long way since then, but unfortunately we're not seeing much DC anything right now in LEGO. Let's hope that changes.
But he's right though, because if you're titling it LEGO DC, the entire theme is a failure. If you're titling it LEGO Batman, then the entire theme is a great theme. It does Batman great. So he's onto something a little bit there. Eternity Kingdom's head honcho. We love reading all your comments, bro. Thank you so much. They say, the LEGO Batman movie theme cursed LEGO DC with the burden of never being able to live up to the high standards of its character redesigns and wacky vehicles. You could see this as early as 2018, where the sets we got just felt amateurish compared to even the weakest the LEGO Batman movie sets.
I 100% agree, and it's the same problem that we saw with Ninjago, because LEGO Ninjago movie, they poured so much time, effort, money into making the best great value sets possible for that wave, and then the Ninjago waves that were after that are like, they just don't live up to that quality, unfortunately. I agree that the Batman stuff since the Batman movie has kind of felt a little lackluster, but I think we're getting back on the right track.
Safe Toaster says LEGO DC would be way better than LEGO Marvel if LEGO actually invested in it. I think this is a misconception. Like people are like, oh, if Lego gave DC these great comic sets that we quote unquote used to get, and I'm sorry, Safe Toaster, I don't know exactly what sets you have in mind that they should do, but I think a lot of people think if we got these comic sets that we used to get, they would do much better. But my guess would be the comic sets didn't do that well, and so that's why they don't do them anymore, you know?
I feel like with so many of these media tie-in things, they like to keep things as recognizable to big, giant, media properties as possible, just as there's the familiarity that people associate with it. So it's going to be a lot harder to get comics-based set, even though I think they should go that way too.
I'm just saying, if the Ultimate Spider-Man sets and the Justice League sets from that 2015 era were just moving like hotcakes and making them these massive profits, and they were doing well, we would still be seeing those kind of sets right now. Does that not make sense, you know?
Yeah, they're going to make what sells. And clearly, the Hulkbusters and Batmobiles for days on end is what sells.
Hey, I wish DC would get more stuff too. Trust me. Ty the Movie Guy says 2025 might be one of the worst years for both teams because they ignored great movies like Thunderbolts and Superman.
Yes. No, I don't think it's the worst year for both teams. Yes, they completely neglected Superman and Thunderbolts, which is a travesty. But I don't think that means that the entire theme of superheroes and Lego is a travesty this year, because we have Arkham Asylum, we have so many dope figures, Anti-Venom, Ultron, I could name so many. So I don't think it's a total wash just because they neglected those two movies.
Yeah, trust me, Daniel Leo and I loved Thunderbolts. That's one of my favorite Marvel movies ever, and we both loved Superman. We were bashing on 2025 for Lego Marvel, but actually looking back now, comparing it to different years, it's actually, we got a lot of cool stuff, and even just Arkham Asylum and the Spider-Verse CMF alone. Star Wars Gaming says the Venomized minifigs are lame. For kids, they are cool, but for an adult, I don't really care about getting a Venomized Iron Man. That isn't in the movies, and barely in the comics. Well, this might be a little bit more on the cheesecake take side of things, because I think everybody doesn't want more Venomized characters, unless your name is Timmy, Tommy, or Gugu, or Gaga. But he does bring up an interesting point.
Your name is not Timmy or Gaga.
He does bring up an interesting point that Venomized Iron Man, Iron Venom, doesn't show up that much in media, in movies or comics. But both Iron Man and Venom do show up quite a bit, and it's just a merging of the two that, I guess, creates a new quote-unquote character. I'm all for it. I am an adult who loves Marvel for years and Lego for years. And seeing the Venomized, I was looking at the Iron Venom minifigure today. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Just seeing the Venom print on the Iron Man helmet.
I can see where they're coming from if they're referring to the fact that potentially it's a wasted slot, which I disagree with. It's not necessarily a wasted slot to have a Venomized character over a new X-Men character like Jubilee or something. And I think most of us could agree we would much rather have a new character we've never seen in Lego, like Colossus, Jubilee, stuff like that, over just a mashup character. But we cannot deny that these mashup characters can be phenomenal sometimes.
It's I got Zombified the Thing giant Funko Pop behind me. He doesn't show up in comics that Marvel Zombies. You maybe see a Zombified the Thing, but it just looks so cool as a collectible to me. But hey, Venom's not for everyone, zombies aren't for everyone, and I get it. Kenji says, big figs for both Marvel and DC are some of the best minifigures that the theme has to offer. They would be better off if they added more characters as big figs. Marvel could add a big fig Venom, Juggernaut, Rhino. DC could add a big fig Doomsday, Atrocitus, Etrigon, King Shark. Sorry if I'm saying these wrong. Yes, cheesecake, chocolate cake tick. We all want this, bro. We all want more big figs, bro. You don't want more big figs?
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree. Big figs just do not speak to me the same ways that regular minifigs do. I would way rather have a minifig of something than a big fig. Granted, not everything would even make sense in a minifig format, like Red Hulk. That looks terrible as a minifig. But a big fig makes a lot more sense. But something about big figs just feels a little off-brand to me. I'm sorry. I know it's a very Lego thing.
It's okay.
But I just don't enjoy having a big fig as much as a regular minifig.
No, they do look mega blocks. They do look even more infantile, like a big molded action figure rather than something buildable, because we're used to having buildable structures or small minifigs and not this weird middle ground. Some people hate big figs, but big fig Bane from the Lego Batman movie, you think that you wouldn't want that big fig? Big fig Killer Croc, you wouldn't want that big fig?
Okay, maybe here's one of the biggest complaints I have with big figs is that they tend to be oversimplified because it's one big molded piece with not very much detail. Maybe the Thanos has some printing, but the Bane, you're exactly right. They actually went so hard with it making it have a ton of detail and extra molding and stuff. And that looks way better than just kind of a smooth skin looking.
Big figs are kind of fun because they're kind of a specialty thing when you get one. Like the Big Fig Red Hulk, I like minifigures more than big figures, but it feels like kind of like this special thing that he got, kind of a one-of-a-kind type thing. So, I don't know. Spy Crash Ratchet says, Lego Marvel in 2026 will be amazing. For Lego DC, maybe. They're actually a very smart assumption based on what we've seen so far. That seems like the trend, if the trend was to continue, that's what the result would be.
I think they're onto something because DC, at this point, what we've seen so far, the Batmobiles and new Batman are phenomenal. They look so good and they're barely priced. If they could continue this trend into the summer and beyond, then I think DC is going to be eating well. Hopefully they can catch up on some of the Superman type hype and stuff like that. Is this Supergirl coming out next year? There's definitely possibility. And then Marvel is also already off to a great start. So I think we're going to be looking to have a good year next year.
Channel member Lankster Builds from the Brick Hour podcast says Lego Marvel 2026 needs the Doomsday sets to have both great builds and great minifigures in order to be successful. This needs to be Infinity War levels of great. This is Lego's opportunity to give us some new characters like Nightcrawler and Mystique while also giving us some characters we haven't seen often like the Fantastic Four. If they leave anyone out and don't take risks with some of these sets, the whole wave will be a failure. No, I don't think, even if they don't include everybody, I still don't think the waves would be a failure, because you look at what we get in Lego Marvel and DC and they don't include everybody and it still sells well and is successful. So I don't know as regards to Doomsday, and this brings up the case of the preconceptual artwork sets, because I don't know how much access Lego's going to have to all the Doomsday artwork and story and all that. I'm starting to have my expectations on the floor at 0. Because these might be like the Endgame sets, bro. The Wave 1 Endgame sets.
I'm really nervous because we know that they basically... I don't know if they're still working on the script for it or if they wrapped up the script somewhat recently. But, like, this thing has not been locked in very long. And so Lego needs at least, what, a year and a half, 2 years of lead time for design, manufacture, distribution for this stuff. I'm very nervous. But between that and Spider-Man Brand New Day, I'm sure that Disney, Sony, and Lego will all want to cash in on the cash cow that is, like, especially the minifigures for these movies.
A lot of the actors have been announced. It's not like they're secret cameos. They're gonna have access to the artwork of those guys, and we're probably gonna see some cool minifigures from there. I don't know if it's gonna be everything that we're wanting immaculately, like Lankster's saying, but Ty the Movie Guy says, I would easily take unique sets from bad movies over our millionth Tumblr/Endgame final battle. There's been 1 million Tumblrs in Endgame final battles?
There's only been like 2 minifig scale, 2 or 3 minifig scale Tumblrs and the 2 UCS ones.
So there are 3 Endgame final battle labeled sets. If you could also start to count the Endgame Thor versus Chitauri that came out this year, or if you want to count the War Machine Busters and Outriders Attack, but I wouldn't consider those Endgame final battle sets. So I think this is kind of a little bit blown out of proportion that we're getting 1 million Endgame final battles. The amount that we have is too much. I agree with you there.
I definitely agree with what they're saying of, like, it's way cooler to have a Captain America Brave New World set with new figures and everything we've never seen before and a Red Hulk Big Fig than another Endgame final battle. I totally agree.
Wouldn't everyone prefer that, though? To have more new stuff rather than more of the same stuff?
It's a good take.
Logan is cooking here. Need a Venom CMF and a Symbiote one as well. Let's show people how dope this Symbiote Venomverse really is, so they can stop hating, because they're just hating on it because we get the same Venom minifigure. It's just exhausted. If you get a lot of one thing, it's just exhausted. If we only had that one Venom minifigure, it only appeared one time, it would be so beloved, like the Punisher, bro. If we had so many hundreds of Punishers, they wouldn't like it. But yeah, let's get just a whole Symbiote, King in Black, Venomverse, whatever, like Last Year Agony, Toxin, Scream, Null,
Agent Venom.
Definitely need Agent Venom, Agent Anti-Venom, whatever, like God Venom with the freaking gold in the middle, like, yes. Waza Warrior says Lego should stop making sets for the Infinity Saga altogether. They've proven that they aren't interested in making sets for Infinity Saga movies we haven't gotten yet, so why even bother continuing that sub-theme? Instead, they should focus on new movies like Thunderbolts and Superman. We should have gotten another Fantastic Four First Step set as well. Yes. Correct. Waza Warrior is correct again. There's a real one in the chat. Dane Gamer says Lego DC could have and should have been more popular than Lego Marvel even after the MCU hype. Wait, what does that even mean? Lego DC could have and should have been more popular than Lego Marvel even after the MCU hype.
Like the sets that they made, or you're saying that they should have, like, made a bunch of DC sets that were even better or could have been better than the Marvel ones. That is an interesting opinion for sure.
I'm sorry, but just the MCU is so freaking massive. All the eyeballs that are exposed to Marvel characters compared to the amount that are exposed to DC characters is disproportionate. It's Cyberbrick says most figures who don't get leg printing don't need it. Is bro cooking?
I don't know about that. I feel like there are a lot of characters who would really benefit from leg printing. I always bring up the Shang-Chi because it's over-designed torso, bare legs. If you had consistency, at least in the amount of detail, then I feel like those figures would look 10 times better.
Yeah, and it goes to something Brickpatch was saying, like, no leg printing works better when you have a more simplistic torso. Four Corners got me thinking about this because he said he doesn't like the Iron Man, the new Iron Mans with the arm printing. He thinks it's too over-designed. And that kind of got me looking at it a little differently. Like, maybe, I mean, a lot of people just like, oh, the more printing, the better. But aesthetically and holistically, for things to flow and look nice, maybe less is more.
Channel member Sir Grizz says DC has really cool concepts and storylines, but Marvel is better at executing and diversifying their sets. Well, he's kind of objectively right, because this isn't even an opinion, as Marvel does have objectively more diversity in their sets.
But hey, at least Batman you get from Batman Forever, from Batman Beyond, Batman Begins. That's a diverse lineup, right?
Yeah, we do get a diverse Batman lineup, that's for sure. Sir Grizz locked in yet again. Well, he's right, though. DC does have really cool concepts and storylines and cool character designs, but LEGO does not cash in on them.
I see this kind of frequently, though. It's like the DC fans, they don't necessarily hate Marvel, but kind of some of the disdain for Marvel comes from their love for DC. They're like, it's painful because you see all these fun comics, storylines, cool concepts, and you're like, oh, it's painful that they're not being represented. And Marvel doesn't represent all the cool storylines great either, but it can be painful saying, oh, how come Marvel got a Ghost Rider set? How come Marvel got a Venomized Wolverine? How come Marvel get movie sets and comic sets?
Literally.
New Visual says Lego should just stop making sets. It's too late, bro. Yeah, they missed the wave, bro. They missed the trend. It's over, bro. Fantasy's here, bro. Fantasy's here to stay. Oh, sorry, it's not Fantasy. Fun Hole. Wait, what is it called?
Oh, yeah, Lumi Bricks.
Lumi Bricks and Fun Hole are here to stay, bro. I just can't get Fantasy and Lumi Bricks because do they have Iron Man? I'm sorry if I sound like an idiot saying that. I would much prefer official licensed Venom minifigure than any goo goo gaga. No, some people just care about the builds only, so that if you care about builds only, go to those. Okay, Ultimate Cube says, I don't have any hot takes. All good, bro. Maybe next video. Thanks for the comment. Okay, here we go. Pierce Kinney says, stop the Venomized characters and spider cars and give us sets from the early MCU movies. First Avenger, Iron Man, and Thor, etc. Yes, we all agree with you, right, Daniel Lewa?
Well, we agree about the early MCU, but do you really agree about the less Venomized stuff?
Of course, I would prefer new stuff compared to the same stuff. To me, Venomized Captain America is a new thing. To some people, it's another Venom. Would I rather have Venomized Captain America or like a Winter Soldier Captain America? I feel like that should have came first. So I'm grateful for the cool Venom stuff that we're getting, but he's definitely right. We need some of those early unrepresented Thor movies and stuff like that. Just an Idiot says the X-Mansion is the best Lego modular. Daily Bugle's a close second, but the build isn't as good. I think there's another comment in here saying the X-Mansion's the worst modular building in the same comment section. It's a good set. I don't know how else to defend it. It looks like a Legoified version of the 90s series X-Mansion. It was extremely fun to build. All the minifigures they included have more detail than like the Daily Bugle minifigures, so there's less selection with a little bit more quality. I don't know what else to say, bro. I think Daniel Leo agrees because that's the next one he wants.
It's awesome. The figures also kind of what help it out.
Here's a nice hot take. This is what we were looking for. The Thing, here's the Thing, says Lego Ninjago is better than both Marvel and DC since 2018.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, probably. Lego Ninjago gets love. It gets consistent waves and stuff, whereas Lego DC and Marvel, there's no like consistency in the releases. I could see what he's saying.
Ninjago's been cooking really hard since that time with tons of modulars, tons of collectible exclusive anniversary stuff, unique minifigs every single year. Like Marvel and DC could learn a lot from that.
I mean, Ninjago suffers from the same Batman, Iron Man problem, Spider-Man problem of similar looking minifigs over and over again.
We're getting Kai, Nia, Cole every single year. What?
Stop with the Kais and the Coles and the Nias. Adam Burgess, a real one on the channel. Adam Burgess, sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Marvel as a Lego theme sucks.
And so in order to react to this, I commented, "What's your reasoning?" And he says, "I just don't like it. Something always feels off and they reuse the same figure over and over and over for years. Example, Spider-Man Venom. Maybe I'm thinking wrong. I don't know. I just don't like it. I love the movies, but he doesn't like the sets." Interesting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you don't like it, bro.
As far as reusing, yeah, they reuse characters a lot, but the actual literal minifigure, I feel like they don't necessarily reuse the same minifigure all the time.
Oh yeah, I just in preparation for another upcoming video we're doing, I was looking at all the Iron Man minifigures and seeing the progression of the Mark 43 armor from Age of Ultron having 4 separate iterations of the minifigure, and just how much that one minifigure has improved from the first iteration to the new iteration we're getting in January 2026 is massive. But that would suck if you don't care about Iron Man or the Mark 43 armor. Then why is there 4 minifigures of it in multiple sets?
Yeah, and I think it all comes back to, it's just like you can have the Iron Mans, but also something else different. Like, and make it more like a cohesive theme instead of just, here's something from a movie, here's something from a comic, here's something from a video game, here's something for adults to put on their desk.
But they're doing pretty good 2026 because, like you just said, Daniel, they are getting us a Spider-Man with a Ghost Rider in it. They are giving us a Spider-Man with a Venomized Wolverine in it. It's like, that is providing something somewhat new, different, and diverse whilst keeping their breadwinners.
Do they got to do that for DC? We get a Batmobile with Black Manta in it for no apparent reason. Right?
Stop hating on Batman, Venom, Spider-Man, and Iron Man. Stop hating on Batman, Venom, Iron Man, and Spider-Man. We should be so grateful for those 4 characters. It's the engine in the Lego Superheroes budget that keeps getting them money. If we didn't have those guys giving them consistent money, we might not even have a Lego Superheroes theme. And for what they have to do, which are those guys, they're doing them pretty well in 2026. Great Batman selection. Amazing Venom selection. Look at the cool Spider-Man sets and look at the cool Iron Man sets that just in the beginning of the year. They have to do these. It's unfortunate because for longtime collectors, and not everybody is a longtime collector, not everybody is us and has a huge Lego Marvel collection behind us. We only want new things. It's not all about us, guys. Everyone's getting into the theme every year. Last take from Young Jesus Forever. Avengers Tower is overrated. It looks like the Fortnite llama. Now, this is a nice hot take. And I read this, I'm like, how does it look like Fortnite llama? But I see what he's actually saying, and I have it right here. Like, look at this Avengers Tower. You see the neck of the llama? Look, this almost matches perfectly.
Oh, I never would have made that connection. That's wild. It is the Fortnite llama.
That brings
Who
you
stole
to
it from you?
my next question is, what came out first, Avengers Tower design or the Fortnite llama design? I actually don't
Avengers
know.
Tower would have been like 2012. Fortnite llamas after that. So
Oh, yeah. So, if anything, the
stole
Fortnite llama looks like Avengers Tower. So those are some pretty interesting takes. And just, even if we didn't like your take, or if we did or didn't like it, it was still really awesome that you even contributed to the video. So thank you so much, everyone, for doing that.
yeah, and so many passionate fans, and it's awesome to have this kind of conversation with you, even if we're not talking directly with you. At least this is a way for us to talk about it. Let us know if you have any other takes or opinions about what was discussed today, because we covered quite a bit of different ground.
But if you like these kind of fun videos that are not sponsored by LAN or Manscaped, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and maybe one day, eventually, we can hit 7,000 subscribers. We also want to give a shout out to all of our amazing Sakuga Squadron channel members that are displayed right here with their new sig figs or desired figs to represent them. That's how they're going to be getting a shout out in the future. So if you do become a channel member, just let us know what figure you also want by your name. All real ones. Thank you so much.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you for your support. And thank you for all of those who made it this far in this crazy hot take of a video. Put Jokerized Venom in the comments below, and you will be personally recognized as a real one.
Oh. Yeah, sorry.